Hey again, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Uh, there's a lot of folks that are making a lot of content out there now, and so if you're here hanging out with me, I do appreciate it, and I always look forward to having these discussions with you. And some of you all have been around for a really long time. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate the emails and the I especially like the comments. Um, on that note, I have garnered a few trolls that have been visiting my channel. And funnily enough, it's when I was speaking about the state of affairs of our the global affairs state that we're in. They seem to show up and rear their nasty little anonymous heads and leave some unflattering comments on the channel, and I had to deal with them one at a time. I think they're actually traveling little packs. Um, on that note, as well, in the past, I have been very careful with how I couch things and the language that I use, and when I'm self-editing and self-censoring what I'm saying, it seems to stop the message that I'm trying to talk about. So occasionally I'm going to use adult language. So if you can't handle adult language, it may be best if you go ahead and find someone else to watch and have discussions with regarding this or anything that's of interest to you, if you can't handle the F word. So if you don't want to share the video because of that, that's fine with me, I understand. But just be aware that I have I have decided that that's not always the best way to handle our content on this platform. Anyway, so that being said, I am making it to you on the second Saturday in a row. And like I said, maybe I didn't promise, but I did say that I was going to try to make something for us each Saturday that we can discuss. And of course, you know that it's dedicated to narcissism and those of us that have had the misfortune of having to be around a narcissist. I do have some notes today. Let me see if I can pull these notes up. And I think I can. And I can. All right, so the topic today is that the narcissist attacks you. And the narcissist attacks you in two ways. One, they attack your image or your character, your reputation to others. I was talking about this last week when I rolled up on a fellow that I was in a project with, and he mentioned to me, "You're not such a bad guy." And I was taken aback as to why he would say that, because the narcissists that was around at the time were filling his head full of shit. And so that was why he says, "Well, you're not such a bad guy." So you have to, when you're hearing things from other people, you need to understand what filter that's being put through, because sometimes we don't always know. We don't know people's motivations. But with the narcissist and the people that are around them, it's always to attack you. It's always to tear you down if you're not giving them what they want. And, initially you may be giving the narcissist what they want, and they may not be attacking you fully, but as you get tired or you don't feel like jumping through hoops for them anymore, they will start to attack, and this is what they do. They'll attack you to other people. And this is probably, I think, I don't want to say the most damaging. I think they're equally as damaging, attacking attacking you to somebody else so that they think less of you. It can have effects on a lot of situations or business situations or friendships that you might have. I found that a lot of people turned away from me that didn't even know me, and that doesn't happen now. It just simply doesn't happen. And it can drive you kind of crazy, literally crazy, if you're around one of these narcissists and you're in narcissistic abuse with them. A more sinister behavior that they engage in is that they attack your self-image. So living with a narcissist is like a constant put down. They're critical of every single thing that you do. Remember, you can't be critical of anything that a narcissist does because they're perfect in their own little weird world, their own pathetic weird little world, talentless hacks that can't do anything except manipulate other people. But they can criticize you. Everything that you do has a value to it, whether it benefits the narcissist or not. If it benefits them, criticism will be low. And if it doesn't benefit them, criticism will be high. Especially when they're running their gamut with you and they're done with you, you'll start to watch as they criticize every little thing that you do. Even if something benefits them, they're going to criticize you for it. On some personal notes, again, I want to caution everyone to be very careful about what you put on the internet. But I have to relay some of my personal experiences, which I refrained mostly from early on. I want to be careful how not to. I don't want to cause any issues with anybody that may or may not know me. I don't want these things to cause any more issues than they already have. So I don't want to. With all that being said, I feel like I can maybe mention a few more things. Anyway, I had one that she would bitch about the way I ate. I mean, literally, the way I ate potato chips just bugged her. And this was, I'd never, all the way down to that. Now, there was a whole plethora of other things that always seemed to bother this person that were never good enough. But just nitpicking all the way down to the last, I couldn't even breathe right. One time, I think I burped one time, and I never got to live that down. That was their standards for you are impossibly high. You can never ever please them because they're screwed up in the mind. They have some fucked up wiring. Something's wrong. And so no matter what you do, you can never ever please them. In a way, that kind of works for some of us too. You might actually become a better person if you're around one. I'm not saying that you need to go find a narcissist or forgiving or not. That's another topic. Discounting what they've done, but sometimes people will ratchet up to try to become better at what they do, so that eventually you think the narcissist is going to finally accept you and stop putting you down, but it never happens. So they attacked your self-image, criticize, constant criticism. I can't even tell you. It was just every day was just a criticism. Nothing was ever good enough. And that will drive someone nuts after a while. The silent treatment. This is another way they attack you because you're not good enough to even talk to. You're not even good enough to have a discussion with. And they love to use this. This is where you wake up and nothing's changed, but somehow their behavior has changed toward you. It's meant to drive you insane, and it does a good job, as I've mentioned a couple of times. But this is part of the attack. Part of the attack is not filling in those gaps when it needs to be, like in a conversation, or there's some things in families that are expected, and then joyfully withholding the things that they're supposed to do. This is an attack on you, make no mistake. It doesn't look like an attack because they're not doing anything. I love that. I'm not doing anything. I've heard that and seen that. I'm like, you're right, you're not doing anything, and you're supposed to be doing something. Whatever it might be, but this where they selectively ignore things and selectively forget things. They do this to you as an attack. It's not just because. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, this is my favorite. This is insidious to the core. I've had them and some other flying monkeys, again, this is many years ago, who will, this bugs me. They get to you, but when you figure it out and you go no contact, things do get better, even if it's your last, remember, like I've said, last 10 minutes on Earth. They will praise other people in front of you and then conveniently leave you out of the equation. So I'm having a conversation with this pencil neck nastiness friend of a friend, little flying monkey of hers, and she mentions, I would do anything for so-and-so, anything for so-and-so, anything for blah, blah, the kid, and then conveniently leave you out of the equation. they're making it very clear that they hate you deep down inside, that that they even loathe your presence, and they're making it clear by omitting you in this equation. It's sinister. It took me a really long time to even figure. I did a video a while ago called "Watch Out for Those Who Don't Clap When You Win." It's something similar when you're doing something that's good and they ignore it. It's frustrating to say the least, but this is how they operate. It's how they get what they want. If you're not giving them what they want, they're going to attack you in some way until you, I guess, either give in and give them what they want, or until you're so broken down, which is another thing that they actually do want. They enjoy you being broken down, make no mistake about it. We stay in it for a number of reasons. One of them is maybe we've made a commitment to this narcissistic pig. Maybe you made my apology to pigs everywhere out there. I'm sorry that I insulted you like that. But maybe you made a commitment to these people. Maybe you have a contract with them. Maybe it's a marriage contract. Maybe it's a business contract. Maybe they're family members, and you can't really just go no contact. And that's another story. Sometimes you can't just always go no contact. Another reason why we stay in putting up with this is that we think that if we try hard enough, they will reciprocate. But that's not the game. The game is to make you jump through hoops for them. They enjoy the game. They don't care if you actually give in to their demands, or their silent treatment, or their backstabbing, and their put downs, and they're lying to you, and they're gaslighting. It really comes down to this is a behavior that benefits them in more than just you doing for them as their slave or whatever. You may have the misfortune of being tied to them in that legal way, and it is a bitch to be around, figuratively and literally in my case. So, oh boy, we've gone over a little bit in time, haven't we? I'm trying to keep these at about 10 minutes. So, anyhow, the narcissist does attack you. They mean to attack you. There's no two ways about this. Whether they're attacking your personality to somebody else, or disparaging you to someone else, or disparaging you to your face, this is what they do to watch the discomfort that they cause. It doesn't happen just with anyone. These people have to be close to you. You have to be in some sort of relationship, some sort of proximity to them, and that has to change. You have to start making an exit strategy. Don't let them know everything that you're doing. Do not let them know that you have plans to exit. Just start to make that exit. So anyway, the narcissist attacks you, but if we go no contact, or at least gray rock or low contact, they can't attack you as much. And with that being said, again, thank you for stopping by. Good to see you all again. I hope to see you all again real soon. And I'm going to sign off. Thanks again.